Want to Do, the show that will hopefully help you figure out what you want to do in life or reconnect you to what you love doing. Each show has a guest who is doing what they want to do, whether it's in their career or in addition to their regular job. Most importantly, we want to help you realize that no matter your age, you too can do what you want to do if you have the will to do it. Now here's your host, Leonard Kaplan.
Welcome to another week of What Do You Want to Do? And today's guest I've known for a long time, and she's young, but she is not my student. Usually people that young are my students, but she's just graduated from high school from Medford High, and her name is Audaruka Ashmara. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah. You can also call me Annalee.
Annalee. Okay. All right. I never knew that. And we've known each other for a long time. Now, Annalee, right?
Annalee.
Annalee. I you didn't prepare me for that one, but that's okay. Annalee has always been, since I've known her, a very ambitious person with a lot of important goals. And first of all, for the audience, tell us where you are from.
So I'm originally from Haiti. I came in 2015 with nothing much. And right now I live in Boston, Massachusetts. Pretty much Boston is my home country, and I have an American heart.
That's
which
great.
I know.
That's great. And how long did it take you to learn English? Because that fascinates me.
I don't know. I know that I had no English at all, like completely at all. And I did think that surely I will never learn it. Surely I can say 1 year or 1 year and a half. I mean, it took 2 years before I really got it completely.
And you've got it. You've got it. You can communicate very well. And it's amazing. Now, do you ever get to speak your native language?
Yes, but I can say that's mostly due to all my background, but I can say mostly I am more professional speaker and writer. Like I'm literally fluent in English than in my native language.
That's
Now
amazing.
if it's my primary language because I had no education in my language.
Well, that'll do it. The education is the deciding factor sometimes in fluency and in book learning. We've talked many times in the past, and you are, and always have been since I've known you, a writer, and you write about something very important. And you've always had this goal to be a writer and to publicize some of the things that you used to tell me about. Why don't you tell the audience about that?
So, yeah, my real goal is to be an activist. I started developing that goal in 2018 when I became member of a blog forum, and it was so much. All the stories of people got so, and so I decided, bon, storytelling has so much helped me, reading has helped me, and I realized right now I have like no education, but if I use writing the same way that writing has helped me learn a lot, because basically it's writing that has helped me because I read and I read people's writing, and I got a lot from writing from all these people, all these authors who were able to write, and I want to use the same influence it has had in my life. I think I can use storytelling and writing the same way it has influenced me to do a lot of things. I'm mostly interested in advocating through writing, and I'm also very interested in poetry, all sort of writing, as long as I can use it to advocate and do what I wanna do. I basically use writing for two things. I do two different things in writing. There's this part of writing, mostly poetry, where I use only to sometimes express myself, all the things that are personal, and the other part of my writing, it's all, people call it political addressing. I do think I wanna express a lot of things, and make a lot of approaches to my writing. So writing is so important to me at this point, because this is what I have now to do what I want, what I think I can do, while I have like no degree, nothing to stand out as the activist I want to be.
As an activist or an aspiring activist, what is the issue or issues that you care about most? What do you want to advocate?
Um, I have a lot of things I want to advocate for, but my focus right now are leadership. I believe that wrong leadership is making a lot of bad impact, and I'm trying to explain how wrong leadership is affecting people and how deep. And if we learn the right leadership and trying to approach what is real, like what is merely right leadership, and you will see, and mostly on my writing, I when it gets there. um
Leadership where now? Any specific place or leadership in general?
in general, there's many leadership roles, and and this is why I have a lot of writing, because I have so many so many
Causes.
different, yeah, to talk about. This is really broad, and it's hard to define them all. But there are many type of leaderships, like parental leadership and societal leadership, as I call it, and all these things. But and also I'm trying to also advocate for integrity. I believe this is one of the most important things that really human needs, to be good leaders, good human beings, and these things. Yeah, I um I also, it's hard because this is not talked a lot about. I also explain an approach based on my experience about mental health. I also talk a broad range about it, because mental health is like something really that need to be addressed a lot, because of all the stigmas and these things. It's really causing a lot of problems, because then when help is needed, it's not attributed because of people's stigma and this stuff. Yeah, this is also one type of thing I write about.
So
Other
mental
than that,
health, I'm sorry, mental health you see as an issue that is
in many communities, because a lot of people hold their stigmas, even if it's not word no, but the stigmas held in many places is causing a lot of problem, because those victims are not getting the help they need. And then I believe that's the reason of suicide, because then what happens is that they don't get the help they need, and then it causes more of a, whether lifetime trauma or a lifelong trauma. It's really a great problem, and I write a lot about it. I'm a storyteller. I use a lot of storytelling in all my writing. So if my pieces get published, it will be understood what I'm talking about. But yeah, there's a lot of problems around these
so
areas.
am I correct in you use fiction
Not
stories?
and storytelling, their real stories, even if people are like,
Okay.
oh, you need more sources, but they're real. The
But
stories I know, stories I read,
you
they're
changed
not
the names, right? You changed the names of the people in the
for
stories.
those who request it. For those who request it,
Hmm.
I do that. For those who do not request it, well, like it's fine. I
Hmm.
don't. But yes, some I change the name. Some request me to have theirs is what's called pseudonym, and some request me to be like just blank, but just use the story. Yeah, all of that. It demands
You
with plus.
had you had a lot of causes when you were in high school. How did your high school teachers react when you would tell them about your writing and about the causes that you are advocating?
Not a lot of my teachers knew about that because high school was also some type of an eggshell because of my, I can say, learning was not something easy for me, and I was trying to pass classes, and this was all this mess with getting home on time. So I didn't really like the teachers I knew, like because I was now in like most mainstream classes, and it seems like mainstream classes they were like it was hard for me to adapt to the environment, but there was only this one teacher I trusted a lot, and she was my English language art teacher for the advanced language. And even in my last year where I got to all mainstream classes, she was still like, not really, I forgot the name when you can do homework in these teachers' classes. They put it in your schedule and you can do homework in their classes. She was still this type of teacher for me.
Like a
And
study
she was,
hall.
I think so. Yeah, it's just so you have the time to do some work if you didn't do them
A-
all.
advisory, I think they called it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she
Yes.
was there still, and she knew about that. That's all because I was in her class still, and I talked to her about that. She was, she pretty much supported me, but at the same time, advising me to be more preservative because a lot of people don't believe that someone like me, like my principal, didn't.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't believe that someone like me know the things I'm talking about. It's like, you're
Sure.
crazy. Do you know? Like, do you have experience? I'm like, yeah, it's an eggshell, but she just knew that at least she knew I wanted to be a writer, and she knew I could be a writer.
Definitely,
Even if
definitely.
she would advise me,
Hmm.
make sure that I find something that's like a good job, but she wouldn't like discourage me to be what I want to be. But yeah, she did know that if I could try this, I would for sure.
So when you came across obstacles to what you wanted to do, how did you react? And how do you
Like
react?
writing.
So writing is therapy for you as well.
Yes, it is. So the reason why I started writing, I say, is when I started being member, and I didn't know it was difficult at all. I felt like, okay, I have a will to be an activist to make changes, and right now I think writing is my only option to do what I want to do. So I didn't wait because I read books, I read biographies, I read where people start writing at a very young age. So I knew age and education is not like a taboo for me to start. So I was like, I can be in high school, I just gonna start. Even if I just gonna start. And I started writing about a topic. It got, and I found it too broad because like it was like I was trying to introduce all topics in one, and I realized, oh no, this needs to be a different title. And then this is all I got. I now get a lot of pieces in progress. because then I can realize this is a different topic which need to be discussed in another piece separately where I can add all the detail attributed to it. But I realize it's really difficult because first of all, my education started barely when I was 15 years old. When I came to the US, I pretty much don't have a lot of education. And I think that's really like a big obstacle for me. Then it was finding, because I read books, I see how sophisticated their writing is, and I found myself writing at a level of like very low level. So now I had to look forward, read more, and looking for more sophisticated word, more sophisticated way of formatting. I think I'm still struggling with that. Like I don't miss the critical thinking or the will, but my only problem right now is to meet the academic, the proficiency level of a will writer, of any writer, because I'm pretty much in a low level right now due to, first of all, English being my second language, and known, maybe unknown, but which I know for most is that my education started so late, so it's pretty much hard for me to
Well,
meet an academic criteria.
let me tell you something, though, because you have a great will to succeed and a will to educate yourself. And many people who are enrolled in college or who have graduated college do not have this, do not have what you have. And you will ultimately, this is my prediction because I can see it, you will ultimately be more educated for yourself than most people will be, because you're a lifelong reader. You're always going to be learning because that's who you are. Education, I would say, is your identity. That's my impression of you. So I don't know whether you can see that or not, but you're doing all the right things. Are you enrolled in any program right now?
Yes. So actually, right now, I'm supposed to be a full-time student in college, but got some problem with financial aid.
Oh,
So I decided, because as I say, I want to be an activist, and my most important part in writing is to use storytelling in every approach, because I believe stories are really strong. It can touch art and this stuff. But I also want to use storytelling not only in writing. I think I can use it many other ways, such as documentary. I tried to make a documentary when I was in high school, which I failed, because yeah, I didn't have enough support at all.
you
I
you
mean,
did not fail. You did not fail.
but
I still have those files
oh great. Okay.
somewhere. I saved them. I did not let them go away, so someday if you want to return to it, I can send you those, you
Oh
know?
great. I mean, I think now if I get like a filmmaking certificate, I can now have all of what I need, and I really wanna finish this documentary. That's like,
Mhm.
yeah. So if I go back, so yes, I want to use storytelling and make approaches through like documentaries, filmmaking. I think these are important ways to address, to speak. I also want to use public speaking. So while I'm not in school, I discovered this great program from the New York University
Mhm.
of Art. It's a filmmaking program, and yeah, I'm taking a filmmaking certificate program right now. I don't want to spend years in this, and because pretty much I'm not gonna make money for, so I don't want to look for a degree. I just want like a certificate where I can just navigate any filmmaking industry and start there and be able to do what I want to do for, like, with my goals, which is
Mhm.
using film production and um documentary and all the sort of film production I can use other than writing to have because documentaries as well has helped me see like history. I read history mostly in documentaries, not only in articles, and it's like I learn a lot from documentaries. This also has impacted me. I also want to use that same influence it has made on me, and film production I think would be great as well for me to do these things.
I
I
agree. I agree. I
Yeah, yeah.
think you can, I mean, you can still make money too, you know. You can raise
Yeah.
money for your cause. You can apply for grants. Maybe partner with a nonprofit group that has the same causes that you do. There's a lot of things that you can do.
Hmm. Yeah, but I haven't hope that like I mean actually right now ap- um I applied to the PBS American Portrait membership, and so I'm basically like a member of the GBH cupboard, and I'm
Mhm.
like okay, that's just for like if I want to write some type of, and I think like that's like okay, that's not enough for me. There are those who make some feel and we send them here. I want to be involved like in podcasting and these things,
Right.
and this is the way I want to address things, not only in writing. And so that inspired me to take this program. I think that's gonna help me a lot, a certificate in filmmaking. So yes, I'm taking this program right now, expecting to get the certificate in about 6 months. Hope I pass it, and let's see what I do once I get it.
That's great. I mean, you are a filmmaker, you are a communicator, you are a writer, and all of those things will help your advocacy for whatever group that you advocate. Do you have other dreams now? When you were growing up, when you were a child, how young were you when you started to want to be an advocate or an
Um,
activist?
so brings me back then. So yes, I think the first time I didn't know the name was advocate and activist. So I was of low education. I didn't know the names, but I know I wanted to help people. So I think it started when there like there are a lot of things I didn't know in my childhood. Like it was things were so close to me, to my knowledge. And at the age of 11, I don't gonna tell the whole story, it's a little difficult.
It's
But at the age
okay.
of 10, I started watching TV on my own, and I started watching, and this is again why I want to do filmmaking. People would think that filmmaking is just entertainment. It is not. It has not been to me.
Mhm.
Filmmaking has taught me a lot. It was not just entertainment. I can analyze a movie for you and get the theme and all this stuff. So yeah, I started watching movie on my own, and I started watching films because usually as a child I was not allowed to watch them. And so on my own I started watching films and soap operas, soap operas.
Mhm.
And even if I didn't understand too much that their films, their montage, but I could be sure that they are really things that happen in real life. And now I can be sure because I read an article last time where I read that soap operas are usually made by actors who sometimes use their real life experience in the
Mhm.
platform. So I do think like at this time I was watching this where there's a lot of conflicts, and I remember this also this film I watched. It was so heartbreaking about somebody who was in jail innocently. He spent so many times in jail, and somebody like the antagonist did all she could to keep him in jail. And that touched my heart. It was like, so I realized, so surely a lot of things like this happen in the world. And as a child, I was always told that people were in jail or delinquents and this stuff, but they didn't tell me there are good people in jail too who were just wrongly accused and was an antagonist trying, and these things. And something else also I learned, and basically I learned. I don't watch movies just for entertainment. I learn things from them. I learned any film was it's so much. I won't take time to describe it. But then after these two things, I realized I saw, oh, I want to help. I want to be the president. I didn't understand. Usually, I thought it was usually people in power, like
Mhm.
queen and president, who can help the world. Those who are just citizens cannot do anything. But now I know any citizen, whatever, wherever you are, you can do something, even though I still want a street doctor to do much. But yeah, I was like, I want to be a president so that I can help fight this injustice, because all I could see is like injustice, and
Mhm.
there need to be someone to fight this injustice. And yeah, my will to fight injustice was at the age of 11. Then other problems came. I felt like which is a little complicated, and I gave up on that. But then I learned I don't have to be much later. I learned by much reading and watching that I don't have to be a president to fight injustice, as I will. So I was pretty much waiting to come to the US, get an education, and but then yeah, I had like no hope at all. Then it came back in 2018. It came back when I became member of this blog forum, and all I could read stories of injustice, people who have lifelong memories of traumas and this stuff. And I was like, that's for real. I gonna go in college just for that, so I can get a jury doctor and be whether a senator, a congresswoman, or do something. I wanted to be a psychologist at first, but when I changed my mind, that's another story. But all I know is that, okay, I'm going in college just for the purpose of being an advocate for those who really need an advocate, and who mostly a lack of awareness is keeping them in the dark.
You must have observed a lot of people both in your home country and in the
My
United States.
environment, yes,
So,
and yeah, film storytelling as well.
so when you look at the average person that you meet here or in your home country, do you see a lot of awareness of these issues, or do you feel like maybe you're one of the few people that really understands these things?
I wouldn't say I'm the only one. Some others do, but do not take the same decision that I take to resign. But this is why I write. This is why I
Yes.
write, and this is why I want to be a filmmaker. I think there's a lack of our awareness, but not only a lack of awareness. Some people may have the awareness, but they don't understand it at the depth. It's like some people know, oh yeah, these are things happening in society. They know they happen, but they don't understand, or it is affecting people. They don't know how bad it is, how deep it is. For them, it's just, oh, it's just a problem. And then like, oh, just a problem. But there are some problems who are just not problems. Trust me, you know how bad it's affecting a generation, or bad. Like, this is why I write.
Mhm.
If there's awareness, there's low understanding. But in some cases, there's even a lack of awareness. And this is why I write. This is why I want to use storytelling.
That's as good a reason as I've ever heard. Most people, unfortunately, have the view that if it doesn't affect them or the people that they know, then it doesn't really matter. So, it's not only awareness, but the ability to make people care about what is going on with people in situations that do not affect them personally. That's the trick. If, as an advocate, you can do that, you will have succeeded.